Aristotle Full Throttle. There you are, whoever you are. You are a throttler. Hello, throttler. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining me. I'm Aristotle Full Throttle. We do this every day at noon. We talk about movies. Today we're talking about Batwoman. There's a new Batwoman. There was a new Batwoman last year, and now there's another new Batwoman. How does that happen? How does that happen, ladies and gentlemen? How do we're just going through Batwomen. It's like crazy. Hello, welcome, nice to see you. Today's show is going to be dedicated to our good friend Josh, who we met yesterday. Interestingly enough, guys, once we all trickle in, once we're live, we're all live, everybody. I should go to the Twitch dashboard, see who's hanging out on Twitch. Just saying hello. We like to ease into things. You know what I'm going to start with? I'm going to start with what's trending, because I feel like that's what's on the tip of everybody's mind. Sadly, the girl from Glee, she is missing. This is very sad. I feel like I said that like the president. I don't mean to be glib about it. It's actually really tragic and sad. Her little kid was found on a boat. And Naya Rivera, she's still missing. This is the top thing. There's a lot of tragedy that surrounds that show. There's a lot of tragedy that surrounds the show Glee. It's very sad. And I hope that, I mean, it's not looking good, but maybe, I'm holding out for a very unlikely scenario in which she is rescued. Call me crazy, but hopefully something like that happens. Maybe she got disoriented and got lost, and they'll find her, but I don't know. Nobody knows. Hey, what's up there, Ron Perty TV? Thank you for joining me on Twitch. Nice to see you. I remember you. We were on Greg's Twitch stream the other night on Mediocre Films. Good to see that. Good to see you over here. Today we're talking about movies. We talk about movies every day here on Aristotle Full Throttle. Guess what? They just cast a new Batwoman for TV. Javicia Leslie. I don't know if you've heard of her before, but now she's going to be the new Batwoman. I'm excited about that. I mean, I haven't watched Batwoman yet, so I don't know how excited to be, quite frankly. But I'm glad they've got a new Batwoman, because Ruby Rose, she left for there's no explanation as to why she left the show. Cool. You make movies. That's awesome. Talk about movies and some things we like. What's your favorite movie, Ron Perty? You're kind of mad about it? Yeah, I don't know. I hear mixed things about the CW shows. I hear that they're all integrated and it's cool and everybody really likes the fact that they can cross over from different universes and whatnot. However, the Crisis on Infinite Earths and all that stuff. But, I don't know. It seems like you got to make a lot of TV, and when you make a lot of TV, sometimes a lot of things get sacrificed. Because you're like, we need another show in 15 minutes. Guys, get on it. Make another. We need 147 episodes this season. So that happens a lot with TV. I feel like when I was growing up watching TV series that had so many episodes, even Star Trek. I watched the original series of Star Trek, the reruns, obviously. I'm not that old. Dawn of the Dead, 1978, that's a good answer. Good choice. But when I was a kid, I didn't realize there were like 20 some odd episodes per season for the original Star Trek. And that's a lot of TV to churn out. And there's a lot of good episodes in Star Trek. Hey, Dino Cutie Butt. Nice to see you here. Nice name. Dino Cutie Butt. I think you joined our Discord. Here, let me send out the Discord link here in the chat so that y'all can hop on there and join the discussion even after hours and supply your own pictures and media and fun stuff. Because it's what we do here. We geek out. We like to geek out unabashedly. We have we reserve judgment. If you go, you like DC, I don't like, you like Marvel, you're a jerk. We don't do that here. Everybody's welcome. Cool. Will is a good fan. Will is an OG fan. He's an OG throttler from way back in the day. Will has been watching the show, contributing to the show. He's a massive contributor. to Aristotle Full Throttle. Hey guys on Instagram, hello. We're also streaming on Instagram. Get this, I got this all set up. I've got so many windows. I need 2 monitors in front of me to make sure that I'm keeping track of everything. So it looks like mission control. Houston, we don't have a problem yet, but it could happen. I'd like to dedicate the show to Josh, our friendly friend Josh, who he's stuck in the basement somewhere. I imagine Josh is not. I hope Josh is okay. If you were watching yesterday's episode, we all met Josh. We all fell in love with Josh. And guys, listen, I was really concerned when I got that phone call. So yesterday I got a phone call, and I'd been getting spam phone calls for a long time. Like literally for the last few years, I'll get a text, and it's usually a spam or a scam phone call, and it'll ask for Elma. And if you're watching the show, you might know by now that my name is Aristotle. It's not Elma. And so they keep asking for Elma. And I'm like, there's no Elma here. And a lot of times it's genuinely a scam. They're like, we want your social security number. And I'm like, wait a second, hang on a second. So yesterday I got one of these calls. They were asking for Elma. And I was trying to test it to see if it was in fact a scam. So you guys might have thought I was being mean or rude for a little bit because I was trying to see if they were scamming me. But we actually got to know Josh for a little bit. Josh didn't seem like a bad guy at all. But there have been a few phone calls where I was like, this is totally, you're asking me for my social security card and my login info and my bank info and my InSeam, and I'm not going to give you that information. Oh yeah, Buster Keaton. We were talking about Buster Keaton the other day, Ron Pertwee. He's amazing. If you guys ever get the chance to watch Buster Keaton, he's an innovator. He was one of those guys from the silent film era who could do crazy stunts, and this is before they figured out or had any kind of regulations. Ron, you'll know this, Ron Pertwee, because you work on movies. There's all kinds of safety regulations that go into doing a stunt. For instance, I was on set many times during stunts, but there was this one stunt, and a guy just had to fall, and he slips and falls. And there's a mat. He's all padded up. He's got elbow pads, he's got every kind of pad. He's got a cap on that has padding underneath the cap. It looks just like a stylish cap that he's wearing. And he just slips and falls. And that's what you do today. But back in the day, Buster Keaton would be like, okay, there's going to be a train driving by, and I'm going to jump on the train, and then I'm going to jump off the train and swing on a pole and swing around and jump back on the train. And the way he did that was he jumped on the train, jumped off the train, swung around a pole, and jumped back on the train. That was it. He just did the thing. So that was before. It's kind of like Jackie Chan, too. There'd be no Jackie Chan if there were no Charlie Chaplin or Buster Keaton. So that's pretty cool. Buster Keaton is a hero of the cinema. Cheers to Buster Keaton. All right, Dino Cutie Butt, we'll be here. I'll see you in a minute. Hey, everybody on Insta. You get so many cool points. I get so many cool points. I saw your last name. I say your last name. Yeah, Ron Pertwee TV. I say your whole screen name because, I figure I should. Yeah, there's lots of safety regulations now. So many safety regulations. If you want to drink out of a cup, they're like, this cup needs to be it needs to be certified padded. It needs to be made out of a certain material, a certain weight. The only kind of liquid that you could put inside is filtered water. You cannot touch your lips with it. After you bring it to your mouth, there's all kinds of things. Don't spill it in your lap. So there's a new Batwoman. Right after there was a new Batwoman. Last year, Ruby Rose became Batwoman. And we were like, cool. And she seemed very excited about it. She's like a very proud, androgynous, I guess non-binary type of identity. And it was cool because it was like different representation on screen that we don't normally see in America particularly. And then after one season, she left. So I don't know. There's really... Does anybody know the reason? Maybe we can gossip a little. Whatever. Everybody has their reasons. It's just a TV show. You could leave and live your life if you want to. But now she's being replaced by Javicia Leslie, a black woman who identifies as bisexual. What anyone's sexuality has to do with their role. I mean, I guess it's good to identify as that publicly so that you can connect with your audience. But sometimes I mean, this might be a little political, but I feel like sometimes now networks and corporations are like, let's be like blatant. Let's show everybody that we're being representative. Like, it's not the person. The person is cool because they're comfortable in their own skin. The corporations exploit people's identities because the corporation wants to be like, look, we're being cool. We're representing everyone. But, I don't know. You know what I mean by that? Am I like way off base with that? I don't know. Keith Richards is trending. You guys know who Keith Richards is, right? He's Jack Sparrow's father. But isn't Batwoman a lesbian in the comics? I think she is, yeah. Ron. Dino Cutie Butt agrees with the exploitation. Yeah, the thing is, I just feel like corporations never really know anything other than how to make lots of money and then use that money to make more money. And also, when they've made more money, they like try to make more money on top of that. But what especially they like to do is not lose money. So by not losing money and making more money on top of that, they're really good at losing less money. That's what a corporation is good at. So corporations, they're like, we want to continue to exist, but the world keeps changing around us, or the world is remaining the same. It's just becoming more aware of the things that are in the world and recognizing them. And then corporations are like, oh, but we like to make money and not lose money. And then people are like, you corporation, you're not recognizing the fact that these people exist. And corporations are like, okay, we'll put a little bit of money toward recognizing marginalized groups of people, but we still want to keep making money and not losing money. I'm just saying corporations are soulless entities that don't care, genuinely don't care, but it's cool when they're pushed or nudged enough, at least to be inclusive. Just to be inclusive. We don't need to, like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying, guys. It gets a little blatant. It gets a little like they're just doing it because they think they should at that moment in history instead of doing the right thing all of the time. Because corporations won't do the right thing any of the time. They'll just go, if doing the right thing it also falls in line with me making lots of money and not losing any money, then I'll do it because I'm a corporation. Hey, do not follow me. I'm serious. I'm not saying do not follow me. I'm just saying hi to a guy whose screen name is do not follow me. I'm serious. Yes, they do. It's very exploitative. For instance, I have an audition today, this afternoon, a Zoom audition. I had requested a Zoom audition because they wanted us to come in for this audition today. Now get this, guys. This is how exploitative. I'm not gonna. I hope the casting agents aren't listening. But I'm just looking around for a hidden casting agent. It's just funny. They want you to come in, and I was a little sketched about this particular audition because it's a singing audition, and they're like, we have all these regulations. Okay, now you're gonna stand outside. You're gonna wear a mask when you come in because we got a COVID situation going on, and the World Health Organization is like, don't hang out inside of rooms for a long time. So they're like rotating people in and out of this casting room, the main room. I'm not going to tell you which casting agency this is, but I was going to let it slip, but I'm not going to. They want everybody to file into a room one by one, take off their mask, and then sing for 5 minutes, which is like literally one of the things the World Health Organization recently was like, do not shout, do not sing, do not project, do not like hang out in a room where people have been hanging out in. And the casting room is about this size, maybe smaller. And they're filing people in and out to take off their mask and then shout into the air so that their fomites can be suspended. So I was just thinking, if they get like 100 people or 200 people in and out of that room throughout the day, it's like, if one of those people had it, there's a chance that someone could be exposed to the fomites. And I was just like, hey guys, I don't know if this is like a cool, like, do I have to come in? And then they were like, no, you don't. Here's a Zoom link. And I was like, why can't we just always do that? Anyway, saves on gas. I don't think it's time for Keith Ron. I think Keith's okay. If you ever see Keith Richards trending, you could just be certain that he's fine. Because the dude is immortal, he'll be fine. Keith Richards will be fine. That's one. There's only 3 things that are certain in life: death, taxes, and Keith Richards. Yeah, Dino Cutie Butt says how they just slap a Band-Aid on problems expecting to fix it. That's true. Yeah, corporations aren't really this. Corporations will not do a thing unless it is in line with their own self-interest. Notice, it's very cynical to say. Funny I should say this. Black Lives Matter, for instance, like, corporations did not care that Black Lives Matter until it was like overwhelmingly socially a problem, or socially noticeable. It's always been a problem. It was just noticed by more people, or at least more people were enraged and willing to do something about it recently. So then they're like, corporations are like, oh, I guess we should do something. I guess we should make a poster, maybe we'll make a logo and send out an email to everyone. And then corporations are like, we did a good job. I'm being so mean today. I'm sorry. George Romero is incredible filmmaker. That guy, he just recently passed, didn't he? George Romero, maker of all the Dead's movies. I really want to go back over them. I saw them all throughout my life. I haven't like sat down and done like a full retrospective, but I would love to do that because the guy was a visionary. He created the modern idea of what a zombie is, everybody. It's pretty cool. Uh-oh. Ron says the casting agent is right outside. It's right outside my window. You know what? There's an entire audience standing out there and staring at me. It's like my life is a sitcom. Keith Richards is immortal. Here's to Keith Richards. You know, they tried to kill Keith Richards like Rasputin. They've tried. They can't do it. They've shot him. They've stabbed him. They poisoned him. They threw him off a bridge in a bag of rocks into a river. He just came back out and put a cigarette in and started playing the blues. Started playing Satisfaction. You can't keep Keith Richards down. When the aliens invade, we're gonna. You know what they haven't done yet? They haven't taken Keith Richards' blood out and made a cure for the COVID yet. You know it ain't gonna touch Keith Richards. He gonna be fine. Keith Richards, let me tell you, Keith Richards is so immortal. I'll tell you, Keith Richards, they tried to burn him at the stake, and he said, it's getting cold in here. Can you turn it up? The heat. That's how crazy Keith Richards is. He's like, this is nothing. I have to deal with Mick Jagger. He doesn't care about the fire burning him. He calls Mick Jagger the Queen. But if they have, I think Keith Richards is the secret to all of this. I really do. I think if we get Keith Richards, think about people. There's 2 people. There's Keith Richards and there's Ozzy Osbourne, who have done all of the drugs in the world. Like, if you were to get transfused with Keith Richards' blood, you would be cured of all ailments and get super high. I'm pretty sure. Keith Richards' blood. Keith Richards' blood for president. If we use Keith Richards' blood for COVID to cure who immediately become alcoholics. Exactly. We had the same thought at the same time. And Ozzy, you know Ozzy, what a lovely guy. He's created so much. He's the dark prince of rock and roll. He's brought so much joy to people. One of my favorite stories about Ozzy Osbourne is when he had to do like some testifying in the 80s because these kids were troubled and they ended up killing themselves. And what happened is the investigators were like, well, what were they listening to? What were they partaking in? And they had posters of Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath and Judas Priest. These bands, they were worshiping and heralding these bands, and they were like, well, it must have been these bands that made these. It can't have anything to do with perhaps the environment, the upbringing, maybe a chemical imbalance in their brain. No, it's the music they're listening to. Music will make you kill yourself. I don't know if that's true, but it definitely wasn't. When they tried to pin Ozzy Osbourne on this, they were talking about the lyrics to the song Paranoid. And they were like, hey, listen, Ozzy, I contend that your lyrics inspired these guys, these young teenagers, to kill themselves. Because in your song Paranoid, you say, I tell you to end your life. Ozzy, you say, I tell you to end your life. And Ozzy's like, well, I had to sit there and go over the lyrics in my head. And I was like, wait, what? I tell you to end. No. In Paranoid, I sing, I tell you to enjoy life. Enjoy life. Ozzy's all about enjoying life. It's pretty crazy. We all love Ozzy, Ron. Ozzy's like, he's an inspirational figure. He's hilarious. He's artistic. He's talented. His lyrics are deep. And guess what? If you listen to the lyrics of Black Sabbath, they're hippie lyrics. It's heavy metal. It's the origins of heavy metal. But the lyrics are like love, peace, harmonizing, getting along, traveling to other planets, that kind of thing. Yes, just like Marilyn Manson caused Columbine. Marilyn Manson had the best comeback in that Bowling for Columbine movie when they asked him, what would you say to these kids, Marilyn Manson? What would you say to these kids that are feeling this way? That they feel like they want to go into a school and wreak havoc. And he said, I wouldn't say a damn thing to these kids. I would listen to what they have to say, because clearly they feel like they're not being heard. Why are they going to take it out on the artist? Don't take it out on the artist. Art is art. It's not gonna kill you. It's not gonna kill you. Yeah, Marilyn Manson is cool. I saw Marilyn Manson a few years ago, guys. I saw Marilyn Manson in Houston. That's why I joked about that concert with our friend Josh yesterday. We love Josh. We miss Josh. Guess what? If you guys stick around for right after the show and go over to like Twitch or YouTube, I'm going to attempt to call Josh back. I'm going to have an attempt to call Josh back at the end of the hour. We're going to smooth things over with Josh. Guys, if you don't know who Josh is, he's a lovely being, and we all love him. He's become the mascot of the show. I mean, he was a spam caller, but we got to know him a little bit. And I say that because, guys, I mentioned this at the top of the show. I've been getting spam phone calls that are legit scams. They're like, give us your banking information. What about your student loan? By the way, I got rid of a student loan recently. I didn't get rid of it. I actually consolidated it into another loan. But I don't have to pay my student loan anymore, so that's good. I just have to pay another one. And if you guys want to support the show, you could feel free to donate. Hey, Angie, welcome. So I think it's funny that they're calling me about my student loan. Let me tell you, we can help you with that student loan. Just give us $500. Just send the loan over to us and start paying us. I don't know what they're up to, but they're up to no good. I smell a rat. Unless the artist tries to run for president. Could you imagine if this country had artists as leaders? I'm trying to imagine that. Like hippie artists. They'd be like, Speaker of the House, what do you think about that? And they're like, I don't know. Why don't we just all hug each other and like dance? And then they'd be like, Mr. Vice President, what is your solution as President of the Senate, Mr. Vice President? What do you propose we do? Well, I put out these finger paints for everybody. They're all natural finger paints, and they're good for the world. We can all just maybe dip our fingers in each one of these colors and make a big mural. And then Keith Richards would be Secretary of State. He'd just go to every country. Hey, everyone, I'm Keith Richards. I can't do a Keith Richards. I could try, though. Keith, you know, in America, I'm not even American, but, you know, they're hippies. They let me be their ambassador. Ambassador to the world, Keith Richards. You know, I think that would be a good thing. If the aliens land, we just send Keith Richards. We send Keith Richards up the ramp of the spaceship. Go, Keith. Go talk to the aliens. See what they have to say. You'll be fine. You're made of asbestos. You're as best as you can. Do as best as you can, Keith. Sorry. You might need to update your impression of what an artist sounds like. Yeah. Jaffe Mustafa says my artist impression. I think you're suggesting... What does an artist sound like? Look. Look, Jaffe Mustafa. Jaffe Mustafa. This is Barack Obama. I don't know what an artist sounds like. I don't even know what Barack Obama sounds like, but I do know what Dr. Baby Yoda Fauci sounds like. Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Baby Yoda Fauci of the National Institute for Health, and I want to be here to remind you to cover your face with a mask, okay? Not just because I don't want to look at your face, but because I don't want to breathe in your spit. Please stop it, okay? Just be considerate to your fellow human being or alien or whatever. Whichever star system you are in, we're all part of the same galaxy. Just remember that, okay? I'm gonna go hang out with Keith Richards. I'll be back later. Thank you, Dr. Baby Yoda. Oh yeah, Kanye. Yeah, we don't want Kanye as president. Yeah, that would be that. Imagine Kanye as president. Yeah. Could you imagine that State of the Union? I think he should run with 2 Chainz as his vice president. 2 Chainz, if you recall, is a rapper, and there's a song by 2 Chainz featuring Kanye West, and I listen to it every year on my birthday just to get me pumped up. I get all excited. It might be a bit of a sexist song, and I'm sorry for that, but it's just a catchy song. It's called The Birthday Song. And if you don't know what that song sounds like, you can Google it. I can't play it for you because I'll get demonetized. But the birthday song goes as follows. I'll do it. Dr. Baby Yoda Fauci will demonstrate how that song goes for us. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, I think Kanye should not run for president. But if he does, he should pick 2 Chainz as his running mate. And they should sing the birthday song, which goes... All I want for my birthday is a big booty hoe. All I want for my birthday is a big booty hoe. And I think he can run on that platform. Razorblade 2112, I'm right there with you. We really don't need another malignant narcissist. Malignant narcissist, millionaire, billionaire, however you want to measure the wealth of the current president, which we will find out about because the Supreme Court ruled today, talking about what's trending, that it is okay for the New York district attorneys and whatnot to look into the financial records of the current president because the president is not above the law and is not immune. So we're going to find out how much money Donald Trump actually does have, if it is in fact $1 billion or not. I will bet you $1 billion it's not $1 billion. But yeah, you can't... I don't understand the appeal of these... The malignant narcissist goes out there and is like, I will use other people for my own ends. I will exploit them. I will not care about anybody other than myself. And this is what the current president does. And you don't want to replace him with a guy who does the same exact thing. And not only does, sadly, Kanye also suffers from bipolar, and he's public about that. So he has episodes where he can have fragmented thoughts and kind of babble. If you remember last year or the year before when he met with the president and he kind of went on a rant, that is very typical for someone who suffers from bipolar. They can't keep two thoughts together, and they just kind of keep going and going and going. And I'm sad. I don't want to see that happen to our country. I don't want to see the country go further down the drain. Let's just go for stability this time. Guys, this last 4 years has been a roller coaster. We need some stability in this country, I think. That's my opinion. And that's what we do on my show. Yeah, who does he think he is? Judge Dredd? I am the law. That's Trump. Judge Dredd is a really cool comic, guys. Judge Dredd is a UK comic. He's a UK hero, and he ages per year. So Judge Dredd is currently... So ever since Judge Dredd started in the 70s, I think. Let's see. Let's see how old Judge Dredd is now. Because every year that has passed since Judge Dredd's inception, he has aged a year along with us. And he's real old now. How old is he? Anybody know how old Judge Dredd is now? Let's see. He's 73 now. It's currently 73 years since Judge Dredd's birth, so therefore the character is 73 years old. It's not like Batman, who's just kind of eternally 35 or so, or Superman, who's around that same age, 33. No. Judge Dredd ages with us. It's pretty cool. And he is the law. And he never takes his mask off. He's never taken his mask off. Not once. He ain't taken it off once. And it's funny because the Sylvester Stallone movie, he takes it off because he's like, I'm Sylvester Stallone though. How are they gonna know it's me if I'm wearing a mask the whole movie? And I'm like, I don't know. Ask Carl Urban. Carl Urban's willing to take that hit. And the White House found that with Kanye's phone password was all zeros. Yeah, I saw that too. That's my favorite part about that interaction, was that every time Kanye opened his phone, he was like 00000. And we're like, Kanye, why even? Pretty friggin' cool. That's the slow-mo sequences. Art. Just art. And Ron, I bet you that's why you like making movies too, because you can create these beautiful types of sequences. You can create these beautiful images and ideas and make them come to fruition and be realized in a certain way, in a living dream, an embodiment of a dream. We can look in, peer into something, and experience it for ourselves. That's the cool thing about being a human, is that everything's a story. We always tell each other stories. That's what we do as people. Like, everything's a story. You come back from the store. How was it? Well, I went to the store, and guess what happened? I saw this lady, and then she started screaming about a mask, and then I bought my Ezekiel bread, and I brought it home because I wanted to make fried banana sandwiches. That was a story. It wasn't a good one, but it did have a beginning, middle, and end. And a delicious end at that. But it's funny because that's what we do as people. We tell each other stories. Everything's a story. A song is a story. A movie is a story. And the director from... I've been knee deep in Hamilton. I know some people they're not even about Hamilton right now, but I'm like loving it. I'm loving Hamilton. I'm watching it every day. You know, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. It's so good because I'll tell you why I like that in a second. But the director for Hamilton was saying how back in the day, humans used to sit around a campfire. And that's what we did. We sat around a campfire and we sang songs and we told stories to each other. And now that campfire is the theater. Or I'll put to you, that campfire is also the 60-inch flat screen LED TV in your living room. That's the new campfire where we sit around and we tell stories to each other. This campfire, except it's daytime and it's the summer. It'd be too hot. That's what I'm saying. The Boys. I gotta catch up on The Boys. I know season 2 trailer just came out. I want to see that. Batwoman. The show's dedicated to the new Batwoman casting. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think happened with Ruby Rose? Why did she leave? I don't know the story behind that. If anybody has the info, I'm curious. But everybody has their reasons, and we really shouldn't judge anybody for making a decision for their own life. So Ruby Rose made her choice to leave. We can't be like, I hate you for making a choice that was suited your own life better. Just got to be like, okay, well, I guess she was done with playing Batwoman. But Javicia Leslie is the new Batwoman. Black woman who identifies as bisexual, which, because we need to know what everyone does in the bedroom. So listen, I don't wear that as a badge. Like, that's fine. But, like, it's private. You can do whatever you want. It's a beautiful thing. Do whatever you want. You can have whatever you like. I just don't know why that has to be, like, on your resume. You know what I'm saying? Should be, it's like private info. But I guess it's nice to... I'm saying that from one side, and I guess the opposing view from that would be like, look, there are a lot of people, young kids, who are growing up bisexual or gay or lesbian or of different orientations and gender identities. So it's cool to see a model person in the media, in the spotlight, who can help represent them. And I'm all for that. I am all for that. But I think, for me, it's optional, personally. Still haven't seen The Umbrella Academy. I know season 2 is coming out for that. I first thought Ruby Rose left because the injury she got from filming. Then she changed my reason when she put something on IG. Angie, you tell me, Angie, let's know. Let's give us some insight as to why Ruby Rose would leave such an amazing opportunity. It seems from the outside that would be a weird decision to make once you become this iconic character, that you would step away. It's kind of like Dave Chappelle turning down $50 million to not make seasons 3 and 4 of The Chappelle Show. Why would you do that? Hey, Jimmy James Cordova over there. Hey, V. Everybody on Instagram. Super cool kids. Yeah, it is super cool. Kids can be like, look, there's someone who looks like me. There's someone who thinks like me. So I'm evolving on this issue in real time, guys. It's true. I get it. That's exactly why I like Hamilton. So you know what? I can identify now because I like the show Hamilton, and I'm realizing why it's resonating with me so much. Because personally, when I look at the play Hamilton, I feel patriotic about America and its inception as a country and the ideals of this country. And also when I look at the musical Hamilton and I see all the colors of the rainbow, I'm like, oh yeah, I can see myself in this play, whereas I could never see myself not just in that play, but in this country. Like, I could see myself as part of this country. It's a rare combination, in my experience, in my personal life, to look at America, particularly the founding fathers, quote unquote, and if you're a woman, you probably feel very much the same, that you look at these folks from Europe and you're like, well, those were the founding fathers, and I feel so distant from there, and I feel so separated from there, and I feel so excluded from the idea of America. And then the fact that Hamilton's like, yo, this is what America looks like, and these are the ideals of America, and it all works together so perfectly that I actually feel validated and included in this country, and feel proud to be American. I feel proud to be part of this country. I always have, but in these last few years, it's been a little bit tenuous. You know what I mean? I was like, this country just elected a guy who's openly, blatantly says racist stuff all the time and appeals to the racist part of America. He legitimately does that. I don't think that's arguable. He feeds into hateful rhetoric, particularly divisive rhetoric. And I was like, and this country elected him. And I live in this country, and I was born in this country. And this country decided I don't matter enough for them to change their vote. So that can be a bit of an identity crisis if you're me. You could be like, wow, I've pledged my allegiance to this country my whole life, yet this country's like, oh yeah, F you. You're not as equal. I don't consider your citizenship equal to mine. Sorry. So all of the things that this president says that threaten your existential ideas, like it just threaten, like give you a bit of an existential crisis as to why the heck you live here. Yeah, that doesn't matter to me. Sorry. That's kind of what I was told in 2016 on some level. Dino Cutie Butt says, I guess people are homophobic and we're trying to break down those barriers too. Yeah, it's very true. Got to break down the barriers. We got to realize that, hey, we're fundamentally, we all have kind of the same want in life. We all want to be free and do what life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I think those are pretty good goals to have in life. Liberty and the pursuit of happiness. And remember, happiness always ends in penis. Listen, Dino Cutie Butt says, yeah, Angie, but you know, my DC stance, they're perfect. Yeah, Angie has admittedly, she admits her bias that she loves the DC universe and it can do no wrong, which is totally okay. You can like what you like. You can have whatever you like. Everybody is allowed to like the thing. Your feelings are valid. I validate your feelings. You're allowed to feel those things, even if it's not true, Angie. I'm kidding. But we do know that the Marvel movies, you know, there's more of them. That's for sure. Chris, Carved 2. That sounds good. Hey, Cody Land. Thanks. It is pretty deep. It runs deep, Cody Land. I tell you, living in this country it's been my life. It might be your life too, but there's some ups and downs. But I'll tell you, Hamilton makes me feel like, oh yeah, we can all be like identified. Also, I look at Hamilton and I'm like, people might be shocked that people of color are playing these historically European folks in the United States. People might be shocked by that. But Lin-Manuel Miranda grew up in Washington Heights, New York, which is pretty mixed. So if you grew up in Washington Heights and you put on a play about the founding fathers in 5th or 6th grade, if you put on a play about George Washington, James Madison, Alexander Hamilton, if you put on that play, that's what it would look like. It would look like Hamilton if you grew up in Washington Heights. So it's not that surprising to a lot of people of color, but, you know, like people who are non-people of color might look at it and be like, wow, this is novel. But yeah, no, it's just, this is what we had to do growing up to represent, you know, just to be representative. And it's all about the idea. America is about the ideas, not about division and racism. Janelle Monáe. Ooh, Janelle Monáe as Storm. That's a good one. Yeah, Janelle Monáe, she's cool. I saw her in concert, but I was working. I was doing the photography for the concert, so it was cool. I got to be up close, taking pictures of Janelle Monáe, and she's like, her performance is immaculate. Like, you see her hair, she doesn't have one hair out of place. It's just like me. All of these hairs are perfectly placed where they are. But no, she's like, every move she does on the stage, she's dancing, she's doing her moves. I'm showing you how she does her moves. She doesn't miss a beat. She's good. She's a good performer. K-Griff on YouTube says it's X-Men-ish. Are you talking about the Umbrella Academy? I think so. Ron agrees that the DC universe, I love the DC universe. Superman and Batman are great, and I loved Wonder Woman growing up. Linda Carter. Anyone? Linda Carter. Did you watch that when I was a kid? Yes. I liked The Incredible Hulk, but that was the two shows I watched as a really young kid were The Incredible Hulk and Wonder Woman, and the Bionic movies, The Bionic Man, The $6 Million Man, and The Bionic Woman. Yeah, my hair does its own thing. I don't even bother anymore. I gave up trying. if you couldn't tell. Yeah, Linda Carter as Wonder Woman. She'll always be the OG Wonder Woman. She's got an invisible jet. We talked about Linda Carter's invisible jet. Not Linda Carter's, but Wonder Woman's invisible jet. Remember the Super Friends? She'd just fly around in a seated position through the air, and you'd be like, hey, you know, this is kind of weird. There's a lady sitting down in the air over there. Maybe we should shoot a missile at her. How is she doing that? I think it's just so she can park her jet anywhere and nobody will find it. Because clearly she's just flying around in a seated position. Yeah, Linda Carter. Great. The Bionic. Did you guys watch The Bionic Woman? Or The $6 Million Man? Because those were really funny. I was just joking about that with my friends Davids. Two Davids. I was joking about that because if you watched The Bionic Woman or The $6 Million Man, earlier I was saying how you had to create like dozens of episodes of TV per year, per season of every show that was coming out. Then it got kind of whittled down, I think around the era of Lost, where the show was just so intensely written that they kind of whittled down seasons to about 16 episodes. At the most, 12 to 16 episodes is what we get a season now, maybe even 10. But back in the day, they were like, we need 400 episodes for the next 6 months of this TV show. So the Bionic Man and the Bionic Woman, those TV series, I think, were like, how are we going to fill up an hour every week? And I contend, Ron, you might be familiar with this. They might have legitimately padded the episodes with all of the slow motion bionic stuff, like the See, I just wasted a minute going in slow motion, and that only took maybe like 10 seconds to film. So so the ratio of filming to what you actually cut into the show, you just expand that time, and you filled up an hour. You filled up an hour with slow motion running. Okay, Lindsay Wagner, run through this park. She just runs across a field, and then it's 10 minutes of her going. That's like one of my favorite sound effects, by the way. Let's see if we can find it. There's so much going on there. Let's see. Here we do. There it is. Oh, that's it. That was it. Go back again. I don't know what I'm doing. It was always like they would take something and crush it to just demonstrate their power. You know what I mean? I don't want to ruin a sticker here. It's bendable, but look how strong my hand is. It's okay. I saved it. Look, Baby Yoda. Let's see if we can get Baby Yoda to bend something. He's going to bend a... I don't have anything. He's going to try to break this pencil. He's not strong enough. Let's try again. Weak. Baby Yoda, what's your problem? You can't even break a pencil with your bionic force. So many crushed doorknobs. Yes. Codyland brings up the Quicksilver scene in X-Men Days of Future Past. That is one of the coolest scenes ever. And it's in a movie that's like, okay, it's a pretty good movie, but that scene is so cool. I remember watching that in the movies going, oh, this is why movies are cool. Because people like plan out and make a really spectacular sequence of slow motion. It was so cool because everything was frozen in time and he was singing. My question to you, Cody Land, maybe you have the answer to this. How did Quicksilver know? How did he hear Time in a Bottle played by Jim Croce on his headphones? He's like running in slow motion. He's like, if I could save time in a bottle. It's like a beautifully timed scene. How can he listen to that in real time? Is he playing it on fast forward on his tape? Because it seems like it would shred the cassette. So I contend to you that they shouldn't have shown him press play. I don't remember if they show him do that or not. They should have showed him press fast forward and then started to run. And then he could hear it in real time, but it would be in fast forward. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense. But that would have been a detail that I would have included. But, oh my God, the best part, they had the Bigfoot spinoff. I think I remember that. The Bigfoot spinoff from the $6 Million Man and the Bionic. Yeah. Oh, guys, you guys remember Harry and the Hendersons too, though, right? A friend of mine, his uncle, played Harry from Harry and the Hendersons. Pretty neat. He also played the Predator. And now my friend gets to play the Predator because it's like in the family now, and he's also like 6'4", so he's like 6'4", 6'5". He's not as tall as his uncle was. His uncle was 7'2", or something like that. Let's see. Evan Peters Quicksilver franchise. You think that? Later, Dino Cutie Butt. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining us. You guys can remember, I'm going to drop the Discord link in here again so you can hop onto the Discord. That link may have expired. Let me send you a new one. Let me send you a new Discord link so you can all hop over to Discord and continue the conversation. Jimmy James Gordesova says, what's up, Ange? And he's saying that over from, yeah. Oh, hey, Ange. Nice to see you over here on Instagram. We're going to try to Instagram everybody in the room. Let's see what else is trending. Keith Richards is going to be trending. I think Keith Richards should just always trend. I mean, he sets the trend. Ooh, TikTok is down. That's good. Less pressure for me. I've been doing TikToks. Sometimes it's hard to come up with a good TikTok. You never know. I spend like a long time on a TikTok, and then I get like 100 views, and then I spend literally like 4.5 minutes on a TikTok, and it gets 200,000 views. So I don't know how TikTok. I don't even want to try. So I've made a rule for myself that if it takes longer than 7 minutes to make a TikTok, abort. So yeah, mainly it's the Supreme Court. Bill Nye is trending. Bill Nye the Science Guy. I think we need more science in the world. Cody says, yeah, that makes sense. I guess they didn't, since he's trying to save lives, but there had to be a sense of urgency. Yeah. I would like to see Quicksilver. Quicksilver is like the most, interestingly though, Michael Fassbender's Quicksilver's dad in those shows, in that movie. That's very interesting. Michael Fassbender. So many servers going on, I'm sure. Yeah. If you guys can, hey Jimmy James, if you want the link to the server, I think you can hop over to the YouTube page and you can click on there and then join over on the Discord server and continue the conversation whenever you feel like it. It's kind of just like an ongoing chat room. I'm learning. I'm figuring these things out. Thank you to my friend Greg Benson who showed me the ropes on some of these things. He showed me how to set it all up and gave me lots of good pointers on how to create a community with people and have a good time and spread the joy, spread the positive vibes. That's what we do here. What's my opinion on Joe Biden? You know, I'd rather be biding my time with the opinion right now. My opinion on Joe Biden. Would you like my opinion, or would you like to? My opinion on Joe Biden is that he is the presumptive Democratic presidential nominee. And that's my opinion. And he was vice president. And he's from Delaware. And that's my opinion. Hey, Ebony Speaks. Nice to see you here. Cheers. We're just talking about some fun stuff. We're talking about what's trending right now. TikTok is down. Uh-oh. Guys, put your phones away. TikTok is down. They're not going to try to steal your information right now. Apparently TikTok, because it's a Chinese company, they're saying that China can request all of your information at any time for whatever reason. The Chinese government can request your information from TikTok. Whereas there are protocols in the United States that actually protect your information. Yeah, Cody Land. What's Kayleen finally figured out how to do Discord. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's like a chat room. It's like on AOL. Remember that? You go in the chat room and you'd be like, ASL, please. ASL. But I guess it's a little bit more modern. It's funny how that this is basically, we still use the internet to make chat rooms 30 years later. Let's see. Yeah, there's so many crushed doorknobs in the Bionic series. I wish I had bionic powers. I would crush everyone's doorknob. They'd be like, what happened? I'm like, I had this hand replaced. It was a terrible accident, but they could rebuild me. They rebuilt me. And now I have this hand. And people could be like, what does... Oop, let me fix that. Sorry, guys. I moved my screen over by accident. I fixed that. And they'd be like, what does your hand do? And I'll be like, let me show you. It can go like this. You want to see it? I'll do it again for you. Ready? Thank you. Is that it? I could also do this. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. My hand does more stuff than that. TikTok reads your notes app. Oh my gosh, Jeffy Mustafa. I don't want them reading my notes. Especially for this show. Let's see, what else did I have? Oh yeah, Bolsonaro from Brazil caught the COVID. That's my notes for this show. I got 1 minute left here on Instagram. If you guys want to join the conversation, hop over to twitch.tv/AristotleFullThrottle. And you can check out the chat there with our friends, Dino Cutie Butt, Ron Perty, Razorblades2112, and Ron Perty TV, and Lori3040, and Ron. Cheers, guys. We all having a good time. We're just hanging out, having a fun time every day at noon here, Monday through Friday. We have a good time, and I got that audition at 3:30 today via Zoom. I probably can't talk about the audition, but I have to sing a song and dance around, and it's going to be goofy. I'm sure. That's the point, really. And Ron, yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to be dancing and singing around my bedroom here. My bedroom there. And it'll be fun. But at least I don't have to drive there. I figured, like, I would have gone to the audition had it been outside. If they were like, we're going to do it out in the parking lot, I'd have been like, okay, cool. But they were like, no, we're going to cram you into a room. You're going to shout your fomites into the air, and then everyone has to breathe it in. I'll see you guys on Instagram. Sorry. Instagram, guys, go over to... Oh, we had a lot of viewers on Instagram. Over almost 20. Whenever someone's like, I have over 73 things, they have 74 of them. I always find that funny when people are like, you know, this man has won over 80 trophies. You know that they won 81 trophies. Just say 81. Ange is like all over the platforms. It's pretty cool. It's kind of streamlined. We can all keep the chat central if we jump over to the because I do check the Discord. I do like that you're commenting on the platforms though. It helps, I guess, raise awareness for froze and glasses and beards. Let's help raise awareness for people with curly. What do they call that? What would they call this? What would this be called? I don't even know. 80 and a half. I've won 80 and 1/2 trophies. That's true. I've won over 80. 80.1. What happened to music? Music's gone. Oh, there it is. What kind of music do you like? Yes, for just under $100, you can get this. That's the funny thing about American prices. I only say American because a lot of times my friends from Europe, or when I'm in Europe, they're like, this costs €1. You know, in America, when something costs $1 or something, we have to pay tax on that. Generally, if something costs whatever. So my friends from other countries are like, the number says this, and then I hand the clerk that number, and then they say, give me more than that number. And I'm confused because I'm from another country where the number, like, this is 6.5 euro. You give them 6 euros and 50 cent euros. It's really strange to some people who are unfamiliar with it. So there's always a hidden cost. We were debating whether or not to request a live. Should we? Let's see. I'm gonna share this video on IGTV here, and then we're gonna attempt to call Josh back. We're gonna see what happens. A lot of people felt uncomfortable watching that call, and I understand. I was skeptical at first. A lot of people believed that Josh was real. He might have been real from a real company. I was testing because what happens is I get a lot of phone calls, particularly lately, asking for Elma, and they're scams. They are legitimate. I know I say legitimate scam, which is kind of a calling me asking for Elma, but then they're like trying to scam because I imagine Elma is a frail old woman somewhere who is a real person named Elma, and all of these people are trying to get money out of poor little Elma, and I'm trying to defend Elma. I want to make sure that Elma is okay. And I think that a lot of times these people who are sharing information for people, they want to take advantage of our senior citizens and people who are maybe a little bit more vulnerable to scamming. So what I like to do when that happens is test them and challenge them and see if they're real. And if they're not real, I'll take them on a ride. because I figure if they're spending more time on the phone with me, they're spending less time scamming Elma's other places. And that's just my opinion. We can disagree on that if you want, but on the same token, I was a telemarketer when I was 17. I spent one summer telemarketing, and it was a miserable existence. I sat there at a desk, and then they just feed phone calls into your ear. And I did it for 2 months in the summer and was like, I will never do this again. But it paid pretty well. I just don't know. I know that everybody's trying to figure out a way to make $1 right now. And Josh might have been doing the same. However, I have recently been watching videos on YouTube about a guy who can reverse scam people. So when he gets scammed from folks that are running these small scam operations, he hacks back into their computers and then finds out their information. And they're on YouTube. They're actually pretty entertaining. And he'll read back to them their name and their information and their address. And then they start to freak out because they're trying to scam him out of money, and he's trying to shut down their scam operations. Not that I'm like this guy trying to shut down everything like that, but just trying to do my part here. New Batwoman. Let's see. Batwoman. And her name is Javicia. Just hashtagging. Javicia Leslie. Post. And now we're going to try to call. We're going to try to call Josh back and see what happens. Nothing might happen. Or we might have some fun. Let's see. Yesterday. My recent calls. And then I've got to get ready for my audition, which requires me to wear a shirt and tie and boxer shorts. So that's going to be a fun look. Yesterday, let's see, what was this phone call? I was on the phone with him for 17 minutes. That sounds about right. He said he was from potential spam. Josh yesterday said he was from Houston, but this number he called from is a number in New York. So I don't know. Crystal Marine. Yeah. All right, let's call. Let's see what happens. They hung up on me. Let me try again. Let me try again. Maybe there's a... That's the thing. They can call me, but I can't call them back. Oh, come on now. This is anticlimactic. Come on now. One more time. You can go in, but you can't get out. They're not calling me. I mean, I can't call them back. Well, that's a bummer. Hopefully, Josh calls us back. Was debating on whether or not to request Alive, but my southern manners kicked in. Alive? What's Alive? If I lived in England, I'd be worth 300 pounds because that's what I weigh. So that I think that's how it works, Ron. I think that's how they measure how much you're worth. Literally. They're like, this man is worth 300 pounds. I'm English. This is an English accent I'm doing because I live here. I'm English. They measure pounds and stones, though. So I don't even know. The English are all over the map with their measuring things. They're like, this is how many miles it is. We don't do kilometers. We do stones. I weigh 16 stone. How many? I weigh 1 Bush album. That's a deep cut, guys. So what did yesterday was all for the elderly? Yeah. Yes, yesterday what we did was for the old people. We were trying to defend the Elmas of the world. Guys, I want you to know I have nothing against Josh as an individual. I do, however, am principally against the idea of scamming. I don't think it's a good choice. So I was hoping to liberate Josh from his choice in life. Maybe. But that's what we did yesterday. I wasn't sure if he was real or not, because I know it seemed like I was like trying to test him, but I was trying to test him because literally have been getting people sending like spam links and stuff going, hey Elma, check out this new deal on medication. And I'm like, you're trying to take advantage of old Elma. She doesn't even know about this. I gotta find Elma. Maybe her number is 1 number off from mine. So you're a Bush album with some B-sides, yeah. Yes, Ron. We've calculated how many Bush albums you weigh. How many Bush album titles you weigh. That's what we figured out today. I think that's a really good goal to have. If that could be the new currency. Michael Cohen is heading back to prison for violating terms of COVID-19 release. Ooh, that's trending. Interesting. Michael Cohen, you remember he sang, he sat he was a stool pigeon, as it were. He used to be the president's like right-hand man, and then he started saying some stuff about that he noticed that he was when he was around the president. I don't know. There's not much trending that feeling sad about Naya Rivera, ladies and gentlemen. This is really sad. I don't want to end the show like this necessarily, but I think it's important that I don't know. The cast of Glee seems very troubled. There was a lot of folks in that cast that have had some. This is maybe the third cast member who has died at a premature age. This is kind of, there's something going on there. One of them killed themselves. One had a drug overdose. Corey Monteith. And one of them killed themselves, but, you know, like, before anyone else could, basically, because of the fact that he was a pedophile. But now we have Naya Rivera missing, potentially dead, and that is very sad. I worked with Jennifer Miller, I think her name is, who was also on Glee. They were like the two peas in the pod in the show. I actually watched the first season of Glee, and I really liked it. Was her name Jennifer Miller? Correct me if I'm wrong, please. I appreciate that. Glee cast. I'm sorry that I don't remember her name. It was a few years ago. It was Heather Morris. So close. I almost nailed it. Jennifer Miller, Heather Morris. That's right. I said Cartwright, and you didn't arrive. Cartwright. Heather Morris, I worked with her. She's a lovely person and very professional. However, on the show Glee, they were like the two peas in the pod cheerleaders. It's very sad. And then yesterday, I know that in the Discord chat room, we were talking about Leah Michele and how she's much maligned from the cast. And I don't know the situation. I didn't work on that show, so I don't know how she's perceived or how she treated people. But a lot of things have come out about her being not so nice to everybody, which is, you know, the one thing that we can learn is always be kind. I think I was pretty kind to Josh yesterday overall. I think I questioned the situation, but Josh as an individual, I think I want to defend myself here. I think I was very, very nice to Josh, but I think that's the most important thing. Just be kind, work hard, do the thing that you do and do it as best you can, but don't be a jerk about it. That's all I got to say about that. Well, guys, this has been wonderful. I like seeing you here every day at noon. I welcome our new viewers on Twitch. If you guys aren't on Twitch yet, you can jump over there. You can also go onto the Discord server and hang out there. And then we can all talk about it the next day at noon, every day. But, oh yeah, it's pretty funny that Bolsonaro... It's not funny. It's very sad. No one should get infected with COVID, with the coronavirus, and develop COVID. But when you're Bolsonaro and you're the president of Brazil and you're going around saying it's no big deal, it's no big deal, it's no big deal, and then you catch it, there's some kind of poetry going on there. I hope that can help him realize that, yeah, it can affect people very negatively, and that people should be a little bit more, they should be less nonchalant about it. They should be chalant about it. Let's see. Some of these notes are for therapy. I shouldn't read you those, but TikTok will read them for me. But guys, thank you so much for joining me. We're gonna leave on this one. Not that one. I'm gonna find a good one. Here we go. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we've done it. Another show, another Aristotle Full Throttle show. Very lively. We discussed the new Batwoman. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I know that, Angie, I don't know if you've watched the TV show The Flash. Yes, a poetic justice, indeed, Angie. It would be... Even when Boris Johnson from the UK... Yeah, K-Ferg, I tried calling Josh back, but the phone kept hanging up. I tried calling 4 times. Potential spam See, the number, when it shows up on my phone, guys, I have a... this is how it shows up. Oops. This is how, when Josh called me yesterday, this is what I saw. Potential spam. So when I answered the phone, that was the mood I was in. They were like, listen, my phone company was like, listen up. What's about to happen is called potential spam. Because I signed up for like $3 extra a month so that I can get information on whether or not I'm going to be scammed or not, or spammed or not. And that's the mood I was in when I answered, but obviously my mood changed once I got to know Josh and how nice he was. I should play everybody out with the bass. You know, thank you for bringing that up. I can actually configure that. I could do that. Thank you for setting a goal for me. I might do that tomorrow. I'll set up the bass guitar, the electric bass guitar. I like to play that. I can plug it right into the computer, and then I'm gonna think out loud for a second here, and I could play along with the songs. Or I could just play weird stuff on the bass and you guys would be like, all right, cool, yeah, the bass, great. I think I could make it interesting enough for you all to enjoy it. But thank you guys. I hope that that you're being safe, that you're being kind to one another, that you're enjoying the things you enjoy. If there's something that you want to tell me about to watch, go on the Discord and we'll talk about it. I'll catch up on it. I've been watching Hamilton over and over again this week. I literally almost know every line to the show now. I tail a spine on the British government. I take the measurements, information, and then I smuggle it. I know it. And then I give it to my brothers running with the Sons of Liberty. And I'm loving it. It's real good. It's real good. It's a good show. I will be Idris Elba. I'll leave you with this. The apocalypse is cancelled. The apocalypse! I mean, he talks like this when he's talking. When I was at the grocery store, I was hankering for an artificial meat. And that was also potential spam. Potential spam. It had potential, Razor. Did you carve it? Because every year there's a annual spam carving championship. Probably doesn't have the same, I don't know, viscosity. That's pretty great. I like that joke. To have the fro on your side. Yes. Yeah, more cowbell, please. Yeah, I'll bring out the cowbell. I don't have a cowbell, but I should own one. I think everyone should. Just like everyone owns a recorder. I'm sure you have a recorder. You guys know you got a recorder somewhere and a harmonica laying around. Don't be shy. You know you have one. Go get it and we'll jam. We'll do that tomorrow. How about that? You get your instruments out. You get your glockenspiel. Get your multicolored xylophone and your little xylophone mallets, and we'll have a jam. Just like the Roots do on The Tonight Show. All right. I think we did it. I think we did a good job. You guys are beautiful. Fantastic. Remember to subscribe. You can get t-shirts and stuff. I've got links. You can go to patreon.com/Aristotle Full Throttle and throw the show a bone. Throw the show $1 a month. Keep it afloat. We'll try to solve things here. We'll try to solve world peace on this show. I think we'll do it. I think we can. Angie, you only have a keyboard. That's good. That's an instrument. You could use that. Or you could slap your knees. Because this show's a real knee slapper. Okay, guys. Thank you. I think I've done it. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you. I'm Aristotle. Full Throttle. Your bro in the know with the fro. And I will see you tomorrow. with my bass. That's me playing the bass right there. Playing some wrong notes too, because this is demo. And I was just throwing it out there. I was just trying to see what I could do. Bye, guys.